Cronkite News reporter Laura Monte is live in downtown Phoenix with the details.
That's right, Christina. The White House just released a list of possible sequester cuts for the budget in Arizona. In just half an hour behind these doors, 3 candidates will come face to face for the first time. The debate has been raging for years over college costs for non-residents. After months of anticipation, the first major round of furloughs began this week, hitting the Federal Aviation Administration hard. Phoenix leaders and dreamers got together to carry on that memory, working to make the city better, one alleyway at a time. Been downtown Phoenix with the latest on Arizona's homeless numbers. And how does the mayor plan to help? I'll tell you next. En unos pocos meses, habrá un nuevo grupo de visitantes en Nogales. In 2011, 157 people died in motor vehicle accidents involving these. That's compared to 99 people in 2009. The streets of Phoenix will now have a third eye on duty. Esta casa en Tempe que está atrás de mí está llena de memorias. I sat down with one grandmother who knows firsthand that these finances are worth fighting for. Even though some locals are unsure what a new team will bring to Nogales, city officials are hoping it will change the town's border image into a more positive one.
It was a beautiful day. People lined up and got ready for democracy in action. This is what should happen in this country, and it went terribly, terribly wrong.
Victims reflected today on that tragic morning that played out in this very spot 2 years ago. They were there not to mourn, but in hope of change.
We stand with well over 80% of Arizonans that are asking for universal background checks.
Former Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords and her husband Mark Kelly are pushing a bill that would require gun buyers to first pass a background check.
It's about public safety and keeping guns out of the hands of the dangerously mentally ill and criminals.
Their group, Americans for Responsible Solutions, are reaching out to Senators John McCain and Jeff Flake to put more effort into determining who can own a firearm. And the request hit home for people listening today.
I have a son in Tempe, Arizona, and our daughter works here at UAMC, and she was working there the day this happened. And so, you know, there are those little personal ties that make you think, wow, that hits close to home. Anything can happen anywhere on any given day.
Some were even inspired to take Giffords' plea back to their own homes.
I'm going back to Minnesota, and I'm going to get in touch with our senators, and I'm going to say, pay attention. Please pay attention.
But for everyone listening, Gabrielle Giffords had one simple message.
Be bold, be courageous, please support background checks.
Some days are harder than others.
For Rebecca Perry, just walking to her car is a daily struggle.
It's hard to tell your leg, don't move, because it has a mind of its own. It just, you know, it's hard to describe these things that I experience every day.
Rebecca was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 30 years ago, and as her disease progressed, so did the twitching in her legs. The pain made it impossible to sleep and walk, until she was prescribed with medicinal marijuana to ease the pain.
This has helped the kicking and the twitching. If this helps me, hey, it's better than some of the drugs I've been on through the years.
But a recent state study revealed that Rebecca may be in the minority, as nearly 90% of all medical marijuana users did not cite a disease as their reason to use.
This is what critics feared, that it would be abused by people saying they got a bad back. And that's apparently what we've gotten.
Now, Representative John Kavanaugh wants to send voters back to the polls to reevaluate their original vote when they passed the Medical Marijuana Act by a narrow margin.
I ordinarily would not bring a vote of the people back to the same people to re-vote so soon, were it not for the fact that new facts have come to light, which seriously question whether those voters would have approved it.
But it's a potential re-vote that has patients like Rebecca fighting to show that the statistics don't change her daily struggle.
I don't know how to get through to the people that control this, you know, other than just telling my story.
Since we were 5, and cousins too.
Playing baseball at a young age is common in Nogales culture. That's why the American West Baseball League saw the city as the perfect place to host a new minor league team, the Nogales Desert Ghosts. And for high school players like Julian Vega, having the international players come to town was exciting.
I was really excited because we were going to get to know players that advance more than us.
And while Julian hopes it's good for him on the field, the mayor of Nogales thinks it's also good for the city off the field.
That is image building for our city. That's where the direction we got to go.
That direction the city wants to go is to attract the large populations in Mexico and Arizona and use its borders to their advantage.
The border accounts for $26 billion of annual economic activity for the state of Arizona, and that number needs to continue to increase.
Nogales analyst Aaron White knows a new team will not only bring in new revenue to restaurants and shops, but it will finally get people talking about the city in a new light.
It's something to tout, to say, you know, Nogales doesn't just have ports of entry, and it doesn't just have great tacos and great places to eat. We also have great entertainment.
Something that everyone can agree on is that the future of Nogales is changing for the better, even for its local players who can now see a positive future too.